Hello, everybody. Welcome to a very special episode of Icons Behind Brand Talk Show series Iconic Ads with Devleena and Saurabh. I'm Devleena, your host, and I have my expert co host with me, Mr. Saurabh Bajaj. Saurabh,
Hi.
welcome to IBB once again. And I have a very special who has worked in financial companies like Nestle, Britannia, and worked for many interesting yet impactful campaigns. So we are going to discuss some of them today. I welcome Mr. Kunal Mehta, who is a global director marketing and communication at DSM. A welcome to you, Kunal.
Hey, Kunal.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Dev.
Bangalore station. How do you hear me? I hear you loud and clear, ground control. Over.
ख्वाबों के आसमां में ख्वाहिशों का डेरा है सितारों के पार कहीं एक सितारा मेरा है एक सितारा मेरा है
What kind of return time does this maneuver give us? You're going to pass India in the next 4 minutes. Roger that.
राहों में अंधेरा है
But you may experience some cloud cover.
दूर घर मेरा है राहों में अंधेरा है बड़ी दूर घर मेरा है ये मीठे मीठे से खुशी के पल मिले जब जिंदगी रुके कुछ अपना सा मिले ये मीठे मीठे से खुशी के पल मिले जब जिंदगी रुके कुछ अपना सा मिले
नहीं दूर घर तेरा है
नहीं दूर घर तेरा है नहीं दूर घर तेरा है घर तेरा है घर तेरा है घर तेरा है घर तेरा है
Nakshatra wishing you happy Diwali from ground control. Mission control. Happy Diwali.
Nice. Very interesting.
Yeah, very different, and I still remember when this ad came. I mean, that time, first time, so it was like a breather, right? It's very fresh, very different.
Yeah, and I think just when you see the two together, it also tells you that one is the emotionality of it, but also storytelling. It doesn't matter. It could the story is told in 45 seconds in the Bhag Verma film, and it's told in a 4 minute in the music video, and both of them deliver and do the job. So it's all about how long. It's not about really the duration always. It's about that, how much time you need to tell the story. So both formats do work.
So, before we get into that, Kunal, a quick intro about you, about your background, about your involvement and association with this brand.
Yeah, absolutely. I I worked with Nestle. Out of my 18 years of career, I've spent about 13 years in the FMCG world, and out of that 13 years, I spent 8 with Nestle. First in Nestle in India, and then Nestle in Switzerland. So all this while I was always in the chocolates world, in the chocolates marketing. So both these ads that you just showed, Devleena, I was, managing the brand at both the times. One of the ads is probably 2014. The music video is from 2014, 2014, and the Bhagwarma was 2016. So two years time period, but there was a different need, and therefore, two different films that we put together.
Having handled Cadbury celebrations myself, and that was really the time when all eyes would be on us because it's the gifting time. That's
Right.
the time when business shift towards gifting, right? Having the role of wafer chocolates obviously diminishes because wafer chocolates is more of a self purchase versus a shared purchase, right? So
Yes.
hence, from a behavior, I mean, it would have delivered a degree of top of mind, but did it do anything beyond that? Was it able to get some kind of a behavior or a reminder and occasion? What else did it do to the consumer?
Yeah, so there was also a clear, action that was happening in market. So at the same time when the music video was launched, KitKat had also introduced special gift packs, and again the idea was to kind of take share and then be more prominent in the festive period. So there were these special KitKat gift packs in the market. Now, how do you make a consumer pick that when you're not even top of mind, you're not being associated with the festive period? So there was a business need behind that, and there was clear action happening in the market. What we saw was that, one from a just a viewership point of view, this video, and I can tell you that in the years that during the Diwali period, wafer chocolate do not have top of mind. They're not the most watched, but this was, despite a 4 minute long video, the most watched video during the Diwali time, along with many others. But also there was a clear business impact. The kind of numbers that we saw every year during the Diwali period, Saurabh, and you would know this, wafer chocolates lose market share for that 1 or 2 months. This was the time period when, we actually didn't lose market share. We kind of held on to the market share, or KitKat held on to the market share. And there was a way that the brand was able to penetrate households with the gift packs at a time period when you enter people's house, only gift packs you see are other categories of chocolates and not really the wafer chocolates. So it did more than just, a nice video. It had a stronger business role to play.
From a marketer's lens, one of the things that I've always observed is that most of the breaking campaigns or the campaigns do really well. They have both ATL and a BTL connection. Those are the ones which have a great reason for purchase at the ATL level or the communication level. But if they're also supported with some change in the packaging in the market at trade, I think that's when you typically see a multiplicative response. And
Yes.
and I always believe that one can't exist without the other. I mean, there are a lot of brands which try to create the right portfolio in the market, but they do not create the emotional need at the ATL level, and hence the two never sort of feed off each other.
And it's the other way around. We could have easily done this film and patted our backs that, we made a film that went viral and everyone's talking about it. But at the end of the day, you know it as well that, if you don't shift and an impact on the P&L, and if you don't show business results, it really doesn't matter the number of views you got and number of likes you got, because all brands exist for sales to drive equity. So I completely agree and resonate with you that it has to be a combination of above the line, below the line, and that was the intent when we did this film.
One of the things which I am a fan of, and I wouldn't change it for, I was ever managing the brand, is really the product shot. KitKat, no matter what the scenario, what the setting, I think the whole take a break KitKat, and that exact shot of, you see the pack, you cut it through the foil, you open it, you break it. I think that's really beautiful. And was there ever any pressure, or was there any ever discussion to say that, this piece of creative doesn't need that shot?
Always. It comes especially from the directors, and I was on this shoot, and I've been on a few other shoots of KitKat as well. And there is always this this thing that, oh, actually we can try it in a different way. We don't need to do it like this. We don't need to, swipe down and snap into the ritual that is known as the Kit Kat ritual. And this ritual is followed almost all over the world. It's not just for India. And two things I can say, sort of, is that one, there is always this pushback from the directors and the creative team that we should go away from it. And then as a marketer, you have to, on this one, that this is something that's non-negotiable. It's one of the brand properties, and brand properties help build brands, and these are subliminal cues. And they help in building the brand in a big way. You mentioned this because it has struck with you over the years. So this is something that we would not listen to in terms of the creative inputs that would come in. And I can also tell you that at every shoot, personally, the amount of time that I was spending ensuring that the ritual is nailed correctly, shot correctly, we got everything right. Sometimes it would, be a situation where the film unit would feel that, but this is the last thing we should be shooting, and it's not so important, and we'll do something in post production. I would say no, this is the most important thing as part of the storytelling, integral to the story. Let's spend some time, get it right when everyone is fresh. So it's you got it right. This was an important part, always has been, and even now when you see the Kit Kat films all over the world, the ritual, as we call it, has always been an important piece. So yeah, it's it plays a role.
Devleena, this is always the most interesting part for any marketer. Whenever we are on ad shoot, the one thing that we always pick up fights with the creative guys is on these kind of mandatories. This is the one thing that we always go to the shoot to ensure is done, which is our brand assets, the stuff that we are proud of, the area that we want to infuse in creativity, consistency. Because you have to deliver a great creative product, but certain things are holy cause and let's not touch them. And believe you me, the kind of pressure which is always there between the creative team and the brand team, saying that ये थोड़ा change कर देते हैं, because everybody feels that if they could just touch that, they would have justified their roles as creative almost.
Yeah, and creative teams are always pushed for, come up with something new, come up with something innovative, and then, there are a lot of memes also, we keep looking that, last moment, ye update and ye change. Aya.
Yeah.
I was also curious about, Kunal, what was the thought behind, creating a music video where, we can always create a 30-second of TV commercial ad. So any specific thought,
Yeah.
thought process behind
Yeah,
that?
yeah. I think that this is quite an important question, and there was a lot of thought that went behind it. So let me start by first, a bit of the insight of why we came with this, because that will give you an indication of why the music video. So this film was shot at a time while there was a business need, but the business need of getting shared during the festive time has always been there. But also there was this moment. This was the time when India's Mars mission was being talked about, and there was a lot of news around space and astronauts in space and whatnot. And what we realized was that there are a lot of people in India, students, young corporates, who leave their towns, cities, homes to study or to work, and then Diwali is the time when they go back home. Now there are moments and times when, for various reasons, some of them are not able to go home. They miss their family, and so it was, all of this was coming together. So we said that there is this trending opportunity about space, which is there. There is this constant need and desire to be with the family. It's not only a mental break. This is the time when people actually take a physical break from wherever they are and go back home. And we said, what if we flip this around and we say that there is someone who's missing, their family. They want to take a break, but they cannot even be with their family. How strong we can connect with that set of audience who can understand it. And this is exactly what happened. When this video went out, the amount of comments that we got, it touched, people strongly, emotionally, and that was what was happening. Now, to come back to your question, the window to do this, to make this strong and to get it across to many different people was limited. We didn't want to make it another TVC. We didn't want to make it another TV ad. It would have got lost in the clutter, and it would not have delivered on what it was supposed to. So we said, if we want to connect with the youth, and we are to a time when wafer chocolates are not known for advertising, why don't we just go and not treat it as a normal television ad, but treat it as a music video? The music has the components of shareability. People don't mind seeing it a 4 minute long. If you say that it's an ad, it's very easy for them to want to skip it. But if you tell them it's a music video, that's how it feels, and I'll talk about the music and the team behind that. It feels like a music video. You're almost watching a video. There is a song, there is a lyrics behind it. So the chances of people watching it and also connecting strongly with it. I mean, ask the youngsters, ask anyone. Will they remember ads beyond a few jingles, and there also music is playing a role, or will they remember their favorite song and their favorite music? So this is again connecting back that how do you take an idea, convert it into a format that resonates with the target audience, and then use that to kind of make it a strong emotional hook. That was the reason why we made it into a music video and not just 1 minute or two.
The standard struggle that happens in content pieces, right, is really the cost of fixed production and the cost of promoting it.
Mhm.
Yeah, where there is always this challenge of saying that am I gonna break my bank in terms of creating the physical assets, just the ad film, the music video, versus the amount of money they're going to need to promote it. Yeah. So was that also something that was on your mind when the music video was being created? And do you think you were able to do justice in terms of the cost of active media to also push this across?
The cost of the film looks grand when you see and you think about it, the space and a spaceship and whatnot. It was the lowest cost film that I have made in my marketing career. So let me first start with that. We were very clear that we're not going to spend huge money on this. The window of opportunity was limited. You had to make it quick, and you may have to make it at a very cost effective way. So the money that we used was in active media and working media. So obviously this was promoted on YouTube heavily. This was promoted on social media heavily. We did get a few influencers on board. People who have clout, not influencers like social media influencers, but actual celebrities who have clout. We had them tweet about it. We had them talk about it. So the money was really spent in actively ensuring that the video gets the eyeballs in a quick few days. That is where all the energy and all the budget went. So we were very smart. Unlike the usual films, as you rightly said, where the production costs sometimes tend to be as high as promoting it and amplifying it. But here we were very smart, and the shoot was done in a studio in Mumbai, and the entire film was shot in about 20 hours straight. And it was done with a very, very tight budget with a tight crew, so it was done in a very cost-effective way. The film, you see this shot, which is where you see the entire country lit up. The entire India is lit up. And I'm careful that should we shoot this or not, because it's not true. And therefore, we then said that let's at least in that scene call out that this is visualization to make it very clear that when you take a break, mentally you are allowed to escape into a bit of imagination. She's in space. It feels, it's her own manifestation of her own mind. It's not something real, but she's taking a break so she can feel it. She's been in space for 300 days. If you notice, she realizes that it's Diwali time now. She's missing her family. So when she takes that break, it is her thinking of what's happening in her country. So that's where it was, and we had some nice conversations and discussions about it at the shoot.
What was the thought process?
It reminded me of the song Doda Doda Bhaga Bhaga, sir.
Yeah, Bhag. Bhag.
Yeah. So this one, it's in continuation with the brand and what it stands for, and the last line in the film is "Har break hai mauka kuch alag kar dikhane ka." So wherever you are, whatever you take, just do what you want to do. The idea was that let's take a situation which is so normal, so stereotyped in a way that we've all been at the airports, and we know this is how it plays out normally. There is someone's name called out, and someone is announcing that name. But we said that what if you take a situation like that, and you just go away from what you're used to. You still use the same device. There is the concept of the mic. There's the concept of an announcement. But here is a girl who probably, when she's not working, or maybe as part of her passion, loves to do both beatboxing and rapping. What if we were to show that in that little moment, in the middle of her day, in the middle of her, tiring day, and you can see that on her face when she calls out Mr. Verma's name. He doesn't even pay attention. He's still busy shopping, She calls out his name twice, and she's tired. She decides to take a break. So actually, if you think about it, she is not on the job anymore, and therefore she has freedom to suddenly stop calling Mr. Verma and start saying Bhag Verma Bhag. She's in a moment. That was the idea that how do we show the mundaneness of life and yet bring that spark, that excitement. Even in those moments when you take a break, you can actually have some fun and really feel happy about it. That was the idea there.
Yeah, so this was a wonderful conversation, sort of very unconventional campaigns. So, what are your thoughts about it? What are the three takeaways and learnings for our viewers and listeners from this conversation you would like to share?
Yeah. No, Devleena, I think it's been obviously an honor for me to have a conversation around one of our iconic brands, which is Kit Kat, right? And
Yeah.
who doesn't know Kit Kat? But what I find very interesting about this conversation and the top three learnings. The first learning is brands like Kit Kat, they gain that stature by being consistent. And the consistency for the brand, and that's the key job of a brand custodian, is held in its assets which will never be touched. The asset of how the breaking ritual is, how the consumption ritual is, and that's really important. While we as brand people are very excited, we want to do new things, explore new creative opportunities. But what we should hold on to is something we need to be very clear, and that's what KitKat does there. The second thing, which is very interesting for me, is the fact that any brand which has got a singular message needs to be Instagram friendly. It has to be something which has to bring the consumers in. And how do
Sharing.
you be cult? How do you be a brand that consumers are proud of carrying? The way you do that, you become social media friendly, or being a real genuine friend, is when you pick up themes which are in vogue. Whether it is the Mars landing, how they did that so beautifully with the Mars project, or it is about that fun cheeky humor of the guy running and that whole bebopping and music, how
Yeah.
beautifully it has been woven in, which enhances the coolness factor of the brand. The third learning for me is that, see, a brand cores are consistent, but that does not mean you do only one thing. You have different brand tasks. You can have a brand task to say, I want to gain share in Diwali. You will have a brand task to say that I want to refresh my thematic. And all of them, while holding onto the brand core, leads to new initiatives. And hence, I personally really enjoyed the whole Diwali initiative, because Diwali is indeed a time when wafer chocolates are not in relevance. And being able to make a very interesting brand campaign with a song, with a